All right, so hey everyone, welcome to today's session. Our topic today is job search strategy.
So first of all, just wanted to introduce you to Business Central. If you aren't familiar with Business Central, we are actually responsible for 3 areas at the college. One is career readiness, another is economic development, and the third is entrepreneurship. So our goal is to provide you with tools and resources so that you can have the best career possible out there by connecting you with resources, information, and coaching you along the way. I'm Bonnie Stouffer. I'm the Director of Business Central. I've been at the college since last June, and I have a background, started my career in marketing. Actually, before that, even in accounting, decided I didn't like numbers. I was a little bit too creative. Got into marketing, had a long career in marketing, and then transitioned into executive coaching and executive recruiting, where I worked remotely for almost 10 years. So this world of being remote is very comfortable to me. So if any of you are struggling with that or want any tips and tricks on that, I am absolutely happy to be a resource for you. A few fun facts about me. I absolutely love downhill skiing. Was sad to see my season cut short. But in the wintertime, you can find me at West Mountain skiing every single weekend. In summertime, my favorite place to vacation is the shore in New Hampshire or in Maine. So I have two sons. One is in college, one's in high school, and we're all remote now. So happy to be here on the phone virtually with you, and happy to be a resource in any way I can be.
Awesome, thanks Bonnie. Hey everyone, my name is Brandon Aldis. I'm the coordinator of career readiness in the Office of Business Central. So my main focus is making sure that you all have access to the resources that make you ready and able to use that degree you're earning, and so that hopefully by the time you get that degree, you enter the workforce and are happy and thankful for the education that you've earned, and we get you just where you want to be, or at least pretty close to it along the way. So that's kind of my biggest goal. I grew up in upstate New York, up on the Canadian border, on a small beef farm, and then I went to SUNY Cobleskill, majoring in agricultural business management with a focus in agricultural education. I really wanted to be a K-12 teacher, but I got really involved on the college campus through residence life and student affairs, and decided that I really liked working with college students as opposed to high school students. So that stuck, and I've worked at SUNY Cobleskill, I've been at SUNY Empire State College, and now I'm the coordinator of career readiness here at SUNY Adirondack. One thing that's really allowed me to really appreciate where our students are, and I think to try to provide a different level of guidance when I'm working with students, is the fact that my background and my degree has nothing to do with what I'm doing today. I learned a lot of skills through the different experiences that I had in college, but for me, that degree in agricultural business management is not what I'm doing today. I'm currently earning my master's degree in higher education administration. I have 4 kids, so I work full time. I've got kids, I go to school, and I think that that's allowed me to have a different perspective when I'm working with college students. So when I say to our students, you know, I've been there and done that, I really have been there and done that. So I'm excited to be here at SUNY Adirondack. I've been here just about a year now. I think I'll probably end up celebrating my year anniversary online through Zoom. So, but we're excited to be here, and we're excited that you guys were willing to give us a chance and present these topics to you in this virtual modality. We had a whole series of programs planned for last week. Obviously, of course, those were canceled due to the current circumstances. So we're excited that you've all given us a chance to try to provide you with some of the content here.
So today what we're going to go through is a few tips on how to make yourself shine out there in this digital online world, where to start with that, give you some clues and help you, that will help you keep on track, and really want to make sure that you understand that we're here for you throughout this entire journey. So just keep us in the loop as to where you're at, and we'll help you out.
So let's talk about making yourself shine. So over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've noticed that really everything in our life has moved online. Whether it be classes or how we get our groceries, most of us are doing a lot more online. So you want, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So jump in online. One of the best ways you can make yourself shine right now is to have a decent online presence. Last week, I had an opportunity to sit through a webinar with vice presidents from a company called Handshake, which is very similar to our College Central Network platform, as well as the vice president of recruiting for Uber. And the one thing that they said is that right now having a good online presence is the best that you can do for yourself. A lot of employers are shifting to those more online practices. So rather than dropping off an application in person or doing an interview in person, most of your stuff is going to be online. So how are those people going to find you? You need to build out your online profiles. And in today's presentation, we'll talk specifically about College Central Network and LinkedIn. Those are the two most professional platforms the college has to offer you. College Central Network is going to help you with your job search, create a resume, stay connected to employers, and find employers with current postings. LinkedIn is going to help them find you. So by having a decent LinkedIn presence, you're showing those employers what you have to offer. And then our next big tip for making yourself shine, especially online, is watching what is being put online and what you're being tagged in. So especially on Facebook and Instagram, and those are things that we've been hearing for a really long time, really since social media was around. But you do want to be careful about not only what you're posting, but what other people are posting to you, what you're being tagged in, and those sorts of things. When someone searches the hashtag SUNY ADK and they see you partying in the residence hall, probably not good for your image. So just making sure that you're posting appropriately and representing yourself well on those social media platforms, and that you're having others represent you well too. So let's talk about College Central Network a little bit. This is a great first stop, a great place to begin. This is the college's platform that allows current students, alumni, and community members to connect with employers. In College Central Network, we have resources such as resume guides, cover letter templates, career-focused podcasts, and more. College Central Network is so great because it pulls postings from all non-password protected job boards into one spot. So instead of looking for postings on LinkedIn or higheredjobs.com or Monster or Indeed or any of those websites you would go to find a job you might be interested in, you can go right to College Central Network, and when you use the right keywords, and we're going to show you how to do that, when you use those right keywords, it's going to pull all that information into one spot. As you see postings you like and you start clicking those postings, it may link out to somewhere like LinkedIn, but at least you're getting all of your filtered information on one screen rather than looking across multiple platforms for similar jobs. So in College Central Network, you can also zero in on your degree. You can zero in on a geographical location. And real quick, I'm going to try to link out while still screen sharing and show you how to do that. So Bonnie, now on my screen, do you see College Central Network? Perfect. So when you guys go to the link that I shared in the presentation, this is the screen that you'll come to. As currently enrolled students at the college, you're going to scroll down here to the bottom and click this big green Students tab. When you click that, it'll bring you to the student login page. If you've never been into College Central Network before, again, because you're currently enrolled students, you're going to click this Activate button here. When you click Activate, this will pop up and it tells you exactly what you need to do to activate your account. Your user ID is just your college email address before the @ symbol. Your email address has to be your entire email address linked to the college, so that Wolfmail account for our current students. Once you enter those, you'll click Activate Account, and it'll prompt you to put in your personal information. So that personal information is going to be things like your address, your phone number, the best way to contact you, etc. Once you've activated your account and have actually logged in, you will see, once this goes away and I can click behind it, you'll see this screen. So this is going to bring you to everything the college has going on coming out of the Office of Business Central and Career Services. So this alert, this is going to show you any upcoming events we have that would require registration, especially our job fairs. Up here, we can put things that require registration, or we can just put things we want to draw your attention to. So up until they were canceled, you can see here that we were promoting job discovery as well as the culinary career fair. Over here on the side, you'll see a special announcement. So these two things right now obviously contradict each other. We're just waiting for these to be pulled down. The special announcement is that all job fairs and tabling activities at the college have been canceled. But regardless of what those topic areas are, any alerts or special announcements from our office will show up here. Along the right-hand side, you can see any upcoming events and programs that we have for you. So here you can see all of our Toolbox Tuesdays that are coming up. As you scroll down, you'll see general announcements and a career document library. These are resources that Bonnie and I have pulled together for you guys to be able to take advantage of. And most of them are branded and written by us. So they're not just generic, they're not just pumped out by College Central Network. Most of what you'll find in here was actually created by us for our students. And then over here on the side, you'll see a media library that has different podcasts. Over here, you can find all different pieces of what College Central Network can do for you. So I encourage you to get in here and poke around a little bit. You can't break anything, and you're not going to apply to anything by mistake. Everything that you do in here is incredibly purposeful and is worth taking a little bit of time to poke around. What I want to show you today, though, is how to specifically look for a job that you might be interested in. The great thing about College Central Network is, like I said before, it's going to pull from all of those non-password protected job boards, but it's also a place that employers can post jobs specifically for our students. So we've worked with the local Adirondack Regional Chamber of Commerce and a few other chambers to promote this service to their businesses because it's completely free. Those businesses need to pay to post on sites like Indeed. Here, they're not paying for anything. So when you click Search My Schools Jobs, that's going to be a search for jobs that employers who are in our system have posted for our students. So if you were interested in finding a job that would be relevant to your degree, you're going to start here. When you click that button, you can see that you can look for a job specifically by your major. You can enter a keyword. So if you were into graphic design, or you could view jobs by type. So that's where you're going to look for full-time, part-time, per diem, seasonal, those types of things. We actually do get a lot of seasonal postings because of the Lake George and Saratoga regions being so tourism-based. A lot of those employers are posting seasonal jobs on our website. Or you can just take a look at all of the jobs that have recently been posted. As of yesterday morning, when I wrapped up this presentation, we had 217 new jobs posted in 2020 by just employers in our system. Going back to the main screen, if you want to be able to search jobs by type and you want it to pull from all of those non-password protected job boards, you're going to click Search Jobs Central, this second blue button here. When you click that, this is where you can type in a keyword. So let's say you were interested in graphic design. And you wanted to be within 25 miles of Queensbury so that you didn't have a crazy commute. When you type that, you can look at these positions that are posted that meet that keyword and that demographic. So these are jobs that contain graphic designer within 25 miles of Queensbury. So that's really why this is so great. Intern Central isn't something that we use all that often. Being a two-year institution, most of our programs don't require an internship. But if you were ever interested in obtaining one of those positions, you can click this, and Intern Central is actually nationwide. So that is more of a database that College Central Network themselves manages, and that's going to pull those internship opportunities from across the nation that someone might be interested in. All right. Any questions about College Central Network? And you can either type them in or feel free to unmute yourself if you'd like.
I tried activating my account and it says it's not I don't have one. Do I have to make one? Or-
Well, Dakota, I will check in on that right after this presentation and shoot you an email.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions? All right.
Okay, let's talk LinkedIn. So before I worked at the college, I spent about 9 years as an executive recruiter, and LinkedIn was basically where I lived. That is how I did my job every single day. I looked for talent on LinkedIn. So I'm very, very familiar with this platform. And if anyone has any questions on how to use it after this, happy to schedule a one-on-one. So why LinkedIn? LinkedIn enables you to really establish your professional brand out there. And it's a place for you to create your look and feel with your profile. You can input elements of your resume, so you've got your skills out there, but it also enables you to network and connect with alumni. And so there's that connection piece of it, but then there's also the research piece of it. Companies have profiles out there, they post news out there. You'll see dialogue about what is going on in the companies, not just what their products are or how they're selling, but also the different types of activities that the company might be offering for employees to get engaged in. So it's a very, very robust place to get information about a company, the culture, how people communicate, how they operate on a day-to-day basis within that work environment. So we really recommend that you get out there and create your profile. So start with your basic information that's on your resume, your skill set, your work experience, and at least start with the basics of your profile. And then the more you get comfortable with it, you can keep adding information in it. And when you do that, the content that you're putting out there, if you're a graphic designer and you're putting out there the types of work that you do in graphic design, the types of media that you work within, the types of programs that you use, those are keywords. Those are all keywords that recruiters will then be searching when they're looking for a graphic designer. They put those keywords in their version of LinkedIn, and it will lead them to the profiles of the people who have those keywords in their profile. So that enables you to connect and to really link with people who have job opportunities out there. So we really encourage you to at least get the basics out there and then start building it out. It also enables you to connect with others. So you can join groups and expand your connection base. You can follow companies, you can follow SUNY Adirondack, you can follow alumni, and all of that enables you to build your network that will enable other recruiters to then find you. So just to use myself as an example, because when I started recruiting, I didn't have a lot of contacts, and I sought to keep building and sought to join groups. And now I think I have about 2,000 contacts on LinkedIn, but because I'm members of groups that are very large, I can connect with people virtually anywhere in the world. And so I can actually help you find people virtually anywhere in the world if you need help finding resources out there. But it's really important to get out there because it is where business is transacted oftentimes. So your skill sets, one of the things that we encourage you to do is put your skills out there. And there is a section on LinkedIn that enables you to put your skills and list them. And then really think about, okay, so if I'm a graphic designer and I'm excellent at doing logos, and my logos can live in a multimedia space, who can speak that for me? Who can endorse me for that? And find that person on LinkedIn, connect with them, because chances are it's a former supervisor or client or professor, somebody that saw your work somewhere. Connect with them on LinkedIn and ask them, would you mind endorsing me for this skill set? Because again, that just deepens your ability to be found by recruiters as they're looking for key talent. And that's a place where, as you go through your career, your skills may change and your areas of focus may change. So right now, for me, recruiting's not a major piece of my career. It's not what I'm focused in doing. Several years ago, I would have loved it if somebody endorsed me for executive recruiting. Right now, that's not as important to me. But right now, if somebody wanted to endorse me for my leadership or career coaching, absolutely, because I'm doing a lot more of that. So think of your skills as your own toolbox, your toolbox that you're going to keep building and growing and evolving, and look to have people endorse you on that. So essentially, LinkedIn ends up being your professional snapshot. So it's a snapshot in time of where you're at right now, but it's going to evolve with you. So get on out there, start building your brand, and keep tweaking it. I know I've spoken with some students who are hesitant to get out there at all. Well, when you first get out there, people aren't going to find you because you haven't built your network yet. So it's okay. I'm actually an introvert. You might not know it, but this whole world of shifting all of our work to being online, I'm so grateful because Brandon's not an introvert. So he's the one that's like, yes, we're going to do this. And I'm like, okay, I can do this too. But I also recognize the value of it. And having that presence online is important. So I am very, very methodical. I'll think things through 10 times before I'll decide to tweak my LinkedIn, which is absolutely okay to do. So I just encourage you to get out there and start building it. And then using it for research. Okay, the slide went away, your kids came up. Okay. So using LinkedIn for research, you can research companies, and I can show you how to do all this. You can research companies. If you're going to have an interview, you can go out there and find out who's the head of HR, who is the head of the department you might work for. You can find all of their public relations type things that they've promoted through LinkedIn. And that is just going to help you do your interview so much better. You're going to be so much better informed that when you walk into an interview, you're going to be a lot more confident. And I can tell you that absolutely hands down. I have just coached so many executives through the job search process and interview process, and LinkedIn is really at the core of it. So I just encourage you all to get out there on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to help you do that. Any questions on any of that?
I am probably going to be getting in touch and picking your brains further about LinkedIn, because I'm going to be looking for a job here pretty quick.
Perfect. And, just to, I know it's a tough time right now. We're all in this area of flux, but there are employers that are hiring. And, some of the jobs may not be, in your sweet spot. But I will tell you, after having recruited straight through the 2008 recession, when that happened, and being in recruiting and just working through that, how you use this time and how you really develop yourself is going to say so much about your character as an employee and your character as a leader. I just really encourage you to use this time to build some of those skill sets and build your network, because this is going to turn around. It's not going to look the same as it did before, but you've got the resources, you've got the support. We'll help you through every step of the way. And there are going to be fantastic opportunities on the back end of this that may not have existed on the front end. And I really believe that. All right.
Awesome.
Moving on. Okay, so get the clues and keep on track. So when you head into a job search, there are a few things I really encourage people to do. First of all, look at all the different resources that exist so you can keep moving forward. You're going to have to implement some discipline. You're going to have to take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, all of that. But when it comes right down to the actual job search process, I really encourage you to keep an Excel document or a Google Doc, whatever you're comfortable in working in. And, you know, I can tell you exactly how I have done this in the past, but you have to do it in the way that's going to work for you. But possible headings, you know, the date you applied at a company, the company name, what was the position, how did you do through the process? Did you apply? Did you get an interview? Did you decide at the phone interview that you really didn't like the company and you don't want to consider them again? But one of the first steps I really encourage people to do is figure out what that tracking document might look like. And it might at first just have a list of companies, and then you add columns down the road. So maybe there are, you know, 5 or 10 key companies that you think I would love to work there. And then you think, okay, what are some of the positions I might want? And then you add a column. But I really encourage you to do this for a number of reasons. One, it can be really, really helpful to you to just stay on track on some of the timing and make sure you do your follow-up emails, your follow-up contacts. Make sure you're aware of the companies that you're really interested in, because if you're happen to hear that, you know, some cousin of yours just got a job at that company, you want to be able to say, geez, I saw these jobs that were open. Would you be able to help me network in there? But just start so you have a plan and a way to really capture your activity. Another tip is that when you see a job posting that you really like and you think you're going to apply to, is to take that posting and save it as a PDF, or grab the content out of it and throw it in a Word doc and then save it. But it's really important for you to save the content of the posting. And the reason for that is a lot of times when you get into a job search process, a company has posted, you know, a bunch of different jobs, and then you go and apply to this job, and then you hear a few weeks later that they want to interview you, but they've taken that job down. It's no longer up on their website. So now you're going to interview for that job, but you don't remember the details of what was in the job description, how they described it. And so I just really encourage you to do that, because, and I'll give you my own self as an example. When I applied to this job at SUNY Adirondack, I did that because I had been coaching people to do that for years. And lo and behold, they called me for an interview, and I went out online and the job was no longer posted. And boy, was I glad that I had grabbed that content and kept it in a file, because then I could use that to prepare for my interview. And when you don't have that information to prepare for an interview, then it just gives you more anxiety. So it's just a tip that I really, really encourage you to do that. Any questions?
All right, we're almost there. So that's it, guys. That's all. That's everything you needed to land your dream job and find it. See, in 29 minutes and 55 seconds, we figured out everything you needed to know. So lucky us. So with all those tips and tricks, hopefully you're able to find your dream job and at least find it. So we haven't talked about applying for it. We haven't talked about writing a resume or a cover letter, finding out who your references are, none of that. This session was just focused on finding that job and what that could look like. So if you want more information about how to write your resume or cover letter, or what professional references are, make sure to tune in next week to learn even more about what the process looks like as we continue. So next week at this same time, same place, same link, same everything, we will be going over resume writing. So in that session, we're going to focus on what it looks like to write a resume, how you tailor your resume to that job that you just found, and what that application process begins to look like. As always, we're here to help you, even though we're working remotely behind these awesome computer screens. Look, we still know how to dress nice for the day. My kids have been quiet for 32 minutes. It's fantastic. So we are also still here to schedule one-on-one appointments. So for me, you can hop right online or shoot me an email. For Bonnie, if you shoot her an email, we're more than happy to schedule one of these one-on-one meetings with you as well. We're also being much more flexible with our schedule. So if that normal 8 to 4 doesn't work for you, just reach out to us and I'm sure we can make something happen. Bonnie and I are also very comfortable in our own skin. So if you reach out to one of us, but it's really meant for the other person, we're just going to respond and say, you know what, this is totally Bonnie's area of expertise. I'm going to forward you to her so you can schedule something with her. But we just want to make sure that you guys are all getting the resources that you need and the help that you need right now. And if we can support you in any way, just let us know. So with that being that, what questions do you have for us? You can send those in the chat box. You can unmute yourself and ask. You can send those via the chat thing online. But anyone have any questions for us? Going once, twice. So we did have one question for all of you, and that is, what other topics do you want a Tool Belt Tuesday to be focused on? So far we have job search, we have resume writing, and then we're going to do interview tips. Beyond that, we would love your suggestions. So either give those to us here, or following this, we'll have a survey. You can tell us on Facebook what else you want to see. But we would love to hear some other topics so that once we complete the 3 that we have planned, we are kind of doing what you guys want us to do. So make sure you reach out with whatever those could be. Anything else for the good of the order? Bonnie, anything to add?
The only thing I would say is, please reach out to us, because we seek to serve and we really want to have that connection. And if you're familiar with our office in Adirondack Hall, we had written on the glass walls, what we're there for, and just try to, give some good positive energy out there that we are a place where, come ask us a question about your career. And now we're trying to build that online. So it's a big transition, but we are here for you. So if there's anything at all we can do, we will absolutely do it.
Lori, I saw you on mute. Did you have something for us?
I guess the suggestion, for someone my age, a returning student, as far as job search, because that looks different for a returning student than it does for a 20-year-old. So if something would be available in that direction, that would be great.
Lori, thank you so much for actually mentioning that, because one of the thoughts I had was to create some group coaching opportunities that might be very sort of focused on the place that people might be in their career, whether they're just starting out or they're someone that might be more in that transition period or pivot period of their careers, and doing some group coaching around that. But I do love that as a topic, so maybe we'll do that as a workshop, and then if there's interest, we can build out the group coaching around that, because it is a distinct place in your career that you're at. And I do think that there are benefits to really focusing in on what those needs are.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else? All right, folks.